Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve Codeforce's problem fire again. Before we start looking into the details of the problem and its solution, I want to mention that my channel is dedicated to help people who are preparing for Java J2 interviews and coding interviews. On my channel you will find a lot of helpful videos if you are preparing for any type of Java interviews as well as coding interviews. There are over 200 solved different varieties of coding problems that are taken from previously asked coding interview questions by Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Yahoo and many other tech companies. So if you are preparing for Java interview or coding interview, please subscribe to this channel now. This channel can definitely help you in your job interview preparation, so please subscribe it. So let's look into the fire again problem description. After a terrifying forest fire in Berland, a forest rebirth program was carried out. Due to its N rows with M trees, each were planted and the rows were so neat that one could map it on a system of coordinates so that the jth tree in the ith row would have the coordinate ij. However, a terrible thing happened and young forest caught fire. Now we must find the coordinates of the tree that will catch fire last to plan evacuation. The burning began in K points simultaneously, which means that initially K trees started to burn. Every minute the fire gets from the burning trees to the ones that are not burning, and that the distance from them to the nearest burning tree is equal to 1. So what it means is, once the trees start burning, then it will burn. It's like a like horizontal and vertical adjacent cell basically, right, in the matrix basically, right? That's what it means. Find the tree that will be the last to start burning. If there are several such trees, output any. And they have given us, for example, in the input they have given us n and m. N and m is size of the matrix basically, right? N rows and m columns, something like that basically, right? That is size of the forest. And trees were planted in all points of the xy type x and y integers. The second line contains integer k, amount of trees burning in the beginning. So amount of trees will be given as the second parameter, and the third line contains the pair which starts burning in the beginning, right? So for example, in this example that they have given us, the burning tree will be 2 2, that is the first burning tree, and it will spread the fire in the forest basically, right? So there they have given us couple of examples. So I also created one similar example here to discuss more about this problem. So let's take this example where we have n and m is 4 by 4. So 4 by 4 matrix is given to us, as you can see here, and k is equal to 2. K is equal to 2 means there are two trees which are denoted here, right? These are the two trees. As you can see, the coordinate is given to us 1 1 and 4 4, and these trees first start burning, right? So what happens once they start burning is they will spread the fire. So how they will spread the fire? So horizontal and vertical in one cell, right? Because one distance they will spread fire. So now this tree will burn, and this tree will burn in next minute, as well as here also this tree and this tree will burn in next minute, right? So like this. Now in the next minute, these two trees will burn its adjacent trees. For example, this tree will burn this tree as well as this tree, right? And this tree will burn, this tree is already burning, so it will burn this tree. Similarly, if you consider this tree which is burning, it will burn this tree and this tree, correct? And this tree will burn this tree already burning, and it will burn this adjacent tree, right? So like this the fire is growing basically, right, every minute. So now so this one we have depicted what will, how it will look like after 2 minutes, right? So after 2 minutes the fire will have covered the trees that we have already checked here, right? So what happens is, after 2 minutes there are in the next minute, now there are all these trees which are remaining will start burning. Which trees will start burning? I'll just mark it. So this tree will start burning, this tree will start burning, this tree will start burning, and this tree will start burning in the third minute, right? Because all these are adjacent to other burning trees, right? So Now what we have to do is we have to output the coordinate of any of these trees, because these four are the last burning trees, so these will burn in the last minute, right? So you can output any of them. Basically that's what they have written it here. So if you look at the problem statement, they will say that if there are several such trees, output any, basically, right? So there can be several trees at the end which will start at the same time burning the last trees, and we can output any of them. So this is the this is the problem basically. So now what we are going to do is, how we are going to solve this problem is, we will use BFS here, right? Breadth first search. And we will use Q or DQ, like anything. Like Q is a data structure where it is first in first out, right? So how we will use the queue? We will just go through the first. We will start BFS with the burning trees. Means this one we will start. We will add this into queue, and we will add this also into the queue, right? So now we have two coordinates, two trees which are burning. So those one we will add into queue. So I will just explain quickly here because there is a limited space. So let's just call this tree as a one, right? So let's just call this one, and this is, let's say, call it so we'll just do one thing actually. So we will just actually give them a name, right? So now I already explained it to you what the problem is, so I'll just revert this back so we can reuse this matrix again, right? So you will understand more now. So basically this, what we will do is we will give them number, right? So let's say these are numbers 1 2 3 4. So it will be easy for me to explain. This is 5 6 7 8, right? Then this is 9 10 11 12, and this is 13 14 15 16, right? Because writing coordinates will be difficult in the queue, so I'll just use this number, so it will be easy for me to write and explain, right? So let's say this is our queue, right? This is our queue. In Java we will have a queue data structures, right? uh, um, Queue is first in first out, so we will start this two first, like whatever the tree which are burning we will put, right? So 1 and 16 we will put, as you can see. So 1 and 16 we will put. After that what we will do is we will take out one, and then we will put its adjacent trees that will start burning, and we will add them into the queue. For example 2 and 5, right? 2 and 5 we will add into the queue, and then we will take out 16, and we will put 12 and 15, which are its adjacent trees, right? So we will add here 12 and 15, right? 12 and 15. So similarly we will just keep expanding, right? Next we will take out 2, and we will add 3 and 6, right? Like that. uh, Basically we will keep expanding, and at the end when we find out like the last one that we remove from the queue, we can just output as the last tree, right? So we can just simply do that, or we can just keep track with using the visited trees, right? Like that. So let's just now look into the Java code implementation, how we are going to implement this using BFS and priority, the BFS and queue. You will know now. So now we have just taken like these are the input that is given to us. So this is n and 4. This is 4 by 4 matrix, and k is equal to 2 because there are two initially burning trees that are given to us here as the input. So we'll just create one array DQ here, right? And we just created one helper class called as pair class. It will just have like two things, like we want to capture the coordinate of every cell, right? I and j coordinate. So we'll just use f and s here for that. And then we will just create one boolean array to capture if the cell is already visited, right? If it's already visited, then we don't want to reprocess that cell, right? So we will just keep track of the visited cell here. So this one is to keep track of visited cells. So after that we will just first read the input, and we will put into the DQ the pairs that are first started burning, right? That is given to us. Like for example 1 1 is one tree and 4 4 is one tree. So these two trees will start burning in the beginning. So that will start our BFS, right? And we will also mark that coordinate as visited, right? And then we just created one pair class called as last because we wanted to keep track of the lastly visited cell, right? So now here is our BFS. It will just loop through the queue until it becomes empty, right? So we will just keep polling from the queue here every cell that we already are visited, right? And then we will just go into these two directions, right? We will for example, if we are, let's say, visiting this one, right, we have to visit all these four directions, sorry, all these four, not this one, horizontal and vertical directions if it's not visited, right? So that's what we are going to do here. So as you can see, is valid is a cell which will first make sure that it's not going out of the boundary, right? If I is less than 0 or it is greater than equal to n, or j is less than 0 or j is greater than equal to m, it means that we are going outside of the matrix, right? So in that case we will just return false, otherwise we will return true here, right? So we will just expand in these four directions basically, as I mentioned you here. So so let me just take out this code. So what I'm trying to say basically is, so let's say this is our cells, right? This is our cell, let's say, in the matrix. So this is our I comma j cell, right? I comma j cell is there. So we have to go in four directions. So here what we are doing is I minus 1 comma j is this cell, then this one is I plus 1 comma j is this cell, right? After that this one is I j plus 1, and this another cell is I j minus 1, right? J minus 1. So we are visiting all these cells basically as long as they are valid, right? Means they are not going outside of the boundary of the matrix. So that's what we are doing here. And whenever we have valid cell found, we will just add that into the DQ, right, as a pair basically, correct? So we are just adding it, and we are also marking that as a visited basically, right? Because we don't want to visit the same cell again and again. Whenever we are checking for validity, we will also check that it's not already visited cell, right? So this is how the BFS will work, and BFS will loop in the while loop, and it will process all the cells, and at the end we always keep track of what last cell we have processed here, right? PP is the last cell, as you can see. This is what we are taking out of the queue, right? So here basically here we are taking out of the queue. So whatever last cell we are taking out of the queue, we will just return that as our answer here, right? Last dot a and last dot a. So let's just execute this code. So 0 comma 3 we are getting here. So if you look at this one, so even if we have written it 1 2 3 4, the actual coordinate system works, matrix system works with 0 based indices, right? So basically for matrix this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, right? Matrix, because this is 0 based indices, and this one is the 0th row, this one is first row, this one is second row, this one is third row, right? So 0 comma 3 we are outputting, as you know, this one, right? So we have four different trees which will be lastly burning, right? These are the four different trees, as I already mentioned and explained you in previously. So anything we can output. So here we are just outputting this 0 comma 3, right, which is this one, this cell. So 0 comma 3 we are outputting, so which is the correct answer. So let's take one more example from the given examples that they have given us, just to make sure our code works. So let's take a 3 3 comma 2. So let me just modify this one. So this one is 3, so 3 by 3 matrix 2, and this one is 3 by 3 cell, right? So 1 1 comma 3 by 3. So let's look at it. So 1 1 comma 3 by 3. So let's just first draw and understand this one quickly. So let's just draw in a matrix. So this one is a 3 by 3 matrix. So we'll just draw quickly 1 2 3, and this is 1 2 3. So this one will just say 0 1. We'll just write 0 based matrix, right? And then they have given us 1 1 comma 3 3. So let's just say 1 1 means 0 0 basically, right? Because they have given us one based indices, right? And this is 3 3 means 2 2 because it is ours is 0 based indices, right? So these two are starts burning simultaneously. So once this starts burning, this one will burn this one and this one. This one will burn this one and this one in the first minute, and after first minute any of this thing we can output basically, because these three trees will start burning at the same time in the last minute, right? So anything we can output. So let's just execute the code and make sure it works. So we are getting 0 2. So 0 2 is the correct answer. As you can see, 0 2, this one cell we are outputting, but any of these three you can output basically. So this is the way you can solve Codeforces problem fire again. So we have what we have done is we have used BFS and Q to solve this problem. We actually are simulating that the burning of the trees in the forest by adding it into the queue, and then we are expanding it like as a BFS, right? So it will expand, and just as we have seen here, it will expand in all the four directions, right? That four directions that I mentioned you here, these four directions, every minute it will keep expanding. So we have to find out the last burning tree. That we can find out means how we will find, how we found it out, because the last element that we are pulling from the queue is the last burning tree right here. So we are just pulling the last element, that is the last burning tree. If you are new to my channel, then on my channel there is a playlist called as Codeforces, which has a lot of solved Codeforces problems explained with examples and Java code. Also, there is a big playlist called as LeetCode and LeetCode solutions on my channel. It has a lot of LeetCode and LeetCode problems solved and explained with Java code and examples, and those problems are taken from previously asked coding interview questions by Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Yahoo, and many other big tech companies. If you are preparing for any type of Java interviews or coding interviews, please go through those playlists. They will definitely help you in your job interview preparation. If you are preparing for a telephonic interview, there is another playlist called as Java interview on my channel that discusses frequently asked telephonic interview questions in Java interviews, and how to answer those questions is also discussed there. If you like this video, if you find it helpful, and if you like the way it's created with whiteboarding examples and Java code, please give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel. Your subscription to the channel is really important for the channel, because that is the way the videos can reach to more people who need help in solving coding questions. The main goal of the channel is to help as many people as possible in their Java J2E interviews and in their coding interviews. They can also watch these solved problems. They can learn from these problems how to approach different varieties of problems, and what data structures and APIs of Java to be applied to different varieties of coding problems. They can learn from these videos. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any questions related to this video, then please put your questions below the description. I'll give you the link of the code solution code in Java and GitHub link in the description. You can check it out from there. On my GitHub account, there are a lot of solved problems and Java code is available. Also, if you like it, share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks for watching this video.